The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode on the Talk In with your beautiful host, Cindy Official. Today, I have with me in the house my one and only boss, Mr. Bashiru Shehu, the headmaster of Ibadur Rahman Academy. As an educationist, we are going to discuss issues pertaining pre-senior high school, basic school, and all that. So let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I will introduce to you my guest, then we will take it from there. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. Welcome back, viewers. We have Sir Bash in the house. Welcome.
Thank you.
That's my boss. He likes me so much, and then I love him as well. Thank you for coming.
Thank you too.
Alright, so let's be quick. We don't have time. Let's begin with Free Senior High School. The NPP have been able to implement their biggest policy, which is a Free Senior High School. As a headmaster of a senior high school, how would you describe Free Senior High School?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praises due to Allah, Master of Day of Judgment, the creator of the universe. I believe Free Senior High School is one of the best things that has ever happened to Ghana. In a sense that if today we are talking about any successes that the country has chopped, free senior high school, count of 1, 2, 3 should be there. In a sense that I say so because of my background as an educationist and as a Muslim. Because one of the injunctions in the Quran has to do with seeking knowledge, that talabul ilm faridatul ala kulli muslim or muslima. The seeking of knowledge is obligatory, is compulsory upon every Muslim, be it a male or a female. Now, if something is compulsory and somebody is giving it to you for free, automatically whoever brings education to your doorstep has given you the food to eat, has given you life to live, and has given you your Jannah if you are able to take good care of it. So I think Free Senior High School in its entirety is not bad, it's very good. In a sense that, again, the needy, it has created a level playing ground. That is what we call equity, where everybody, be it rich or poor, a beggar or the rich, one with both parents or a single parent, an orphan has an opportunity to be in school. We must take politics out of education. That is the solution to getting to our final destination. A lot of interventions have happened from before independence till independence up to date. So whatever we do as a country to make education better, I think we should all join hands together and make it better.
All right. So we all know that education is good, being it a Muslim or a non-Muslim. Education is good for everyone. But in this case, Free Senior High School do not have the enough resources, the enough infrastructure to accommodate students. That is why they implemented the double trial standard. So, as a headmaster, Do you think that the double track system is good or not?
Thank you very much. Looking at where you are trying to push me, I think we have the gradualist approach and the straight bullet approach. That is just as we were seeking for independence under the UGCC and CPP. We have the UGCC, which believe in self-government within the shortest possible time, and we have the CPP with self-government now. I think as a country, we fail to have an educational plan that almost all political parties would have to rather follow to develop the country's educational agenda or plan. So unfortunately, the party's manifesto becomes automatically the direction of education of the country. A government comes, he makes it 3 years. Another government comes, he makes it 4 years. Then we are playing Chaskelinki with the Ghanaian child's or the poor man's son or daughter's education. But by and large, you talked about double track. We in the education sector believe in what you call improvisation and innovative. It was just making use of the same facility by different category of people without having to build new structures. If you check the MDC's progressive free SHS, I think they believe that the best they could do was to ensure that there were enough infrastructure before they kickstart the fully fledged free SHS. So they were using the progressive, gradualist, day students, then they moved to a section of the borders. That was in 2014, 2015, or 2016, thereabout. 2014, 15 academic year and 2015-16 academic year. So that was when the progressive free SHS started. And they were pegging it with the 200 secondary school. Automatically, a number of students were at home. That we must and cannot discount it. Then we moved to 2017 when the government of the day also decided that whether gradualist or not, it must be done. If it must be done, it must be now.
So in this sense, he was the Nkrumah party.
So that was what happened. Whether the infrastructure was there or not.
Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Hello viewers, welcome back. Let's continue our discussion with Sebash.
Yes, thank you once again. Like I did mention, in 2017 there was the need to bite the bullet. Rain or shine, infrastructure or no infrastructure, there was the need because the government in itself had promised the people of Ghana of a non-negotiable free SHS. So that's anything to delay it meant it was not going to come. And if the government then had also chosen to use the gradualist approach, there couldn't be much different from that and what the NDC, the then outgoing government, had promised or the outgone. So automatically it must be a need that the fully fledged free SHS must be introduced. And that happened. But unfortunately, it did not capture the third and second years who were in school. It started with the first years who had just entered the 2017-2018 academic year. That in itself has rolled up to today. And we are talking of the free SHS as of now can boast of over 5 million graduates. And that in itself is a big plus. Because hitherto one would have expected a section of this group to be home. And that also meant that education was not going to come. Because previously, with the progressive, there were still challenges of payment.
Progressive, were they paying fees?
Those in the day schools, a section of them were made not. Yes, almost all the community day schools, they were not paying. And there were students who were in the same boarding schools, there were day students who were not paying. Okay. And in 2016, there were a section of boarders who had also been given some leverage and were also not paying. That was what made it the gradualist approach. Gradually, they were certain that within a given time, that would have also covered the entirety of Ghana and all students who find themselves in the SHS.
But then can't you see that the free senior high school is focused on quantity over quality? Because their intention is all students, all citizens should go to school. But then producing the students, you just produce 5 million, but then some of them are not even willing to go to school. Some of them are not willing to learn. They are just going to school because the school is free. Well, they are focused on quantity. Meanwhile, the quality should be.
I think I beg to differ. In the field of education, I don't see where you are coming from, honestly, because we are talking about access and participation, equity and quality. There were a number of students who could not have an opportunity to be in school, not because they were blockheaded or tabula rasa, but because of finance.
Yeah, I know someone that we wrote BEC in the same year, 2012, but then she didn't go to school until this free senior high school. And right now, as I'm talking to you, she's in University of Education.
Yes. Do you know how many doctors would have produced if the free SHS had come earlier, or even the progressive had been much more earlier than it was introduced? Obviously, a number. Among these 5 million plus, have you taken a sample to find out how many of them are engineers? How many of them are that? The first batch have graduated from the university. Yes, so automatically we can't rubbish it.
So they don't go to school, they don't pay anything, like just free admission?
Yes, it's free admission. You get your prospectus. If you're a day student, you just go and you are given admission. That is what it's supposed to be.
But then other schools take something.
It's just like we having what we call a bylaw. The PTA cannot be taken out of running our educational institutions. So sometimes some of these things are what you see the student paying for. In some other jurisdiction, we must admit some schools have their tradition. So you hear them buying some different wear, which either to the government is not paying for, like the cardigan. Most schools have cardigan. It's not part of the free SHS. Most schools have vests. It's not part of the free SHS. The free SHS does not come with some of these auxiliary things.
Then it is not entirely free.
It is free.
Since
you are given about 4 sets of uniform. No, automatically, even given the opportunity, some schools will customize their footwear. The government cannot afford to pay for that. Almost every government comes and he does his contribution to education. Once upon a time, the Prof. Atamel's time, there were free sandals, free school uniform, free sanitary pad, among other things. His Excellency John Ejekum Kufuor gave the free hot meal, the school feeding.
Hot meal.
The school feeding at the basic school.
Okay.
So every government comes and adds to what we already have.
Does not exist now.
Says who?
Now, Syria is close to me. They don't feed.
No, maybe you've not been there. Honestly, there could be challenges, but even at secondary school, yes, even at secondary school, there's free hot meal. Those are the boarding I enjoy morning, afternoon, evening for free.
The basic schools.
It's there. It's meant for the primary students.
Okay.
Yes, the JHS are not part of it.
But with the free senior high school, there has been a challenge, I would say. Yeah. Because I don't understand why a JHS graduate with aggregate 6 would be in the same school with a graduate with an aggregate 40.
Yes. How many kids is your father having?
Just 2. My
2.
Sister and I.
Yes, so automatically all of you don't have the same IQ.
Yeah.
But you are giving birth to by one person.
Yeah.
What accounted for the difference? Why should
we are different people?
So should that be? All of us are not equal. And we mentioned earlier on that the ultimate aim of the free SHS is to produce what we call equity, equality, equity, and quality. So the access has been created, opportunity for everybody to be in school, fully participated. Now you are being taught by the same best teachers. Mind you, we have what you call maturation and readiness. Some people could not perform at the basic school. Not because, especially if you are joking with people from the basic school, government basic school, with 22, 23, 15 thereabout, they enter secondary school and they are the best. They go to university and become the first class products. So some people did not know their bearing was at JHS, so they may falter. Or some had a lot of constraints just because they could not have the best that they should have had. But when you get to the secondary school, is it not surprising that at the basic, you have a number of people going to patronizing the privates, even though the government still dominates. But all these people want to enter government public secondary school or senior high school because it is made up of, a school could have not less than, some schools have more than 300 teachers. A school like Islamic with the highest population of almost over 6,000 students.
In Ashanti?
In Ghana, in West Africa, yes.
Wow.
So automatically you need about 300 or more teachers, getting to 400 teachers to be able to handle such students. Okay.
All right, welcome back, viewers. Let's continue our conversation. Let me take you back to basic school.
Yes.
There are still basic schools under trees.
Yes.
But then yet, free senior, there is the implementation of free senior high school. Don't you think that focus should be on making the basic school standard and improved rather than focusing on free senior high school?
I think that is a laudable suggestion which we must all echo. But to be fair, the basic school needs much more attention. And basic school has been redefined to capture secondary school. The new definition of basic school, as propounded by the current day education minister and the government, includes, because the ultimate aim is that at least a Ghanaian child, any Ghanaian child who drops out of school should have been, the basic is secondary school. But you ask of your concentration of the traditional basic school, that I think previously the ones we have, that is from primary to GHS, is true. The government needs much more attention there. Much is not being channeled there, as one can see at the secondary school. This, I think, is a clarion call on all of us, much more the government, to give it the best of attention. Some are receiving it, especially those in town or in the urban centers, contrary to those in the rural areas.
But then do you know, even in Ashanti region, there are still schools under trees?
That we cannot discount it. If you take the population of basic schools as compared to secondary schools, the basic school is like 3 times the number of secondary schools we have. And automatically, the basic school should, a number of it falls under the district education directorates. And some districts, municipal, metropolitan, don't have the wherewithal or the needed resources to even support. This, I believe, together we must come together to help the government and also help those various schools. It's a challenge that all of us should not run away from and must be admitted.
They're receiving the resources they are supposed to receive.
This, the resources aren't that enough. It's just because of the scarcity of resources. No resources will be enough to cater for all these. And again, I believe it's a matter of priority. Maybe the government is over prioritizing the secondary section as compared to, because that looks to be the gateway of which a number of these students are mature, they are the voting age, and they are entering the tertiary. If you go to the basic, a lot of money is going down the drain because the schools need much more attention. And a number of parents too are taking their words to
the fundamentals are not strong. Just like Bobby said, if the fundamentals are weak, the dollar will expose you. So if the fundamentals of the basic two is weak, when you go to the senior high school, you fumble. If you go to the tertiary, you fumble.
But surprisingly, the fundamentals are the basic. I think it's just about the issues of resources, scarcity of resources. But they have, if not the best, but we say the finest teachers. Because almost all basic school teachers, government are trained teachers. Yeah. And the least and the least entry point for teaching now is degree.
In private schools, most private school teachers are not trained teachers.
That is true.
Almost all are not trained teachers.
Yes.
But then those with the trained teachers do not give the children the right education.
Yeah, it is not as if the right education is not being given. It's still the matter of priority. Even parents who pay, there are schools that take $500 a term in Ghana. Basic private schools. Would you pay $500 and allow your child not to learn? Would you pay $500 and your child is not having the needed materials? Would your child bring or come home without a homework, or he's given one and he's not doing it and you are comfortably sleeping?
Never. Because if you don't even prioritize education, you not send your word.
So that high profile. Parents have a role to play in making the basic education or taking the basic education to the highest level that we also desire. Many are those who believe that they want to take their children, the ones who are not doing well, to the so-called basic school. It's an issue of infrastructure or learning materials. People in private school, even JHS, are buying books to the tune of 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. In some areas, you buy every book with its workbook. Every pamphlet that they buy the workbook attached. You could understand this. I think it's something that together we must all come to make it a better place. And again, if you check some of the basic schools that we so have, the environment in itself is questionable. Government is not the one building all the basic schools. Some are schools he has adopted or absorbed. Some of the structures at the village are in bad condition, but it's better than not having it. The private schools, you hardly see a racketed one. If even you do, parents will support in making it better. In this country called Ghana, almost everything about us is becoming political. Hence, people having to stay away from the very thing they can do to make education powerful.
But are you on my side that focus should be on the basic school?
Nobody is discounting that. I don't think even the government of the day would run away from that. We all need to give equal priority or attention to all these educational sectors, even at the university. Because the ultimate aim, that if you want to know the future of a particular country, look at their educational system. If you want to know the future of a particular community, whether they will progress or retrogress, look at the standard of education or the number of educated group in that community. So automatically, equal opportunity must be given to all, irrespective of where one finds himself, whether basic or secondary or tertiary.
All right, so let's go for a quick break. We'll be back now. Alright, welcome back, viewers. Let's continue our discussion with Sebash. Sebash, okay, so I have this question that I want to ask. All right, we have free senior high school, which is supposed to be free. But then with a double track system, students go to school for let's say 3 months and then sit at home for maybe 3 months, 2 months. And then in the course of staying at home, they attend classes. And they have to attend because maybe before they go back, they've forgotten something. So they have to attend the class. And then these classes come at a fee. It comes at a cost. And then for them to be going every day, it's just like they are going to school. They go Monday to Friday for let's say 2 months or 3 months. Imagine the cost. So if they have to attend free senior high school, but then during vacation they also have to attend classes, do you think here free senior high school has been good to them?
Alhamdulillah, once again, I think we must mention that the student do so for convenience, in a sense that they are given the required textbooks. Classes did not start today. Even during the cash and carry, people still had an opportunity to go for classes, extended one, and again vacation classes. I'm not sure the advent of free vacation classes started with free senior high school.
But free senior high school has made students stay at home more than before.
That is true to some extent.
That is why they go to the school.
That is true to some extent. If you check earlier on, I was making some suggestion, or we were having some discussion off camera, and I was telling you about category A, category B, and category C schools. And we have D, which is made up of virtually about 90% of category A, B, C to become category D, which a student must choose as D. And we have the appendix 3, appendix 4, school special boarding, where you could go as a boarder, and others you could also select and enjoy some advantages. There are some, not all schools are running double track. We have the single track, and we have what you call previously double track, now transitional, the transitional calendar of the system. You see, these are schools that are overly subscribed, and virtually almost every student wants to be there. The same facility during vacation. As I speak to you, our school is on vacation. It means a number of students who want to enjoy Ibadur Rahman could have had an opportunity of being there now to learn. It's just, if you travel abroad, you have this summer school.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm good, I'm happy, you know them. Good. In that regard, I'm not sure those who go during fall complain that those who stay home during summer are being at a disadvantage. The only thing we need to know is how to continue to get our students engaged. A lot of schools have created the virtual learning system, where even aside what they receive in class, they are able to move on the virtual, and we have some recorded videos, a number of sites and books.
Do you think they will learn?
If they won't learn, do you think if they don't learn, do you rather think they go to the classes than to learn? A number of them know.
As for the classes, it's not virtual.
The classes, a number of it are to augment what they've been taught in school. And some to use it to move ahead of their peers. And there are others who have never attended classes, yet they lead their class. We need to allow our students to know the benefits of education, so that together we have an opportunity to push for that. Universities are there, people go and come and stay in the house for 2 months before going back, sometimes even beyond that. In other jurisdictions, when they are home, others make use of the facility.
Yeah.
So I believe your call is apt, But it is not really the case that because they go for classes means there is no free SHS. Previously, during cash and carry, a number of parents even had to pay their teachers to extend classes, extra classes, that's what we. And again, the students go for vacation classes, whether it is 1 month, 2 weeks. We all enjoyed. I do remember in the early 90s, we all had to go for classes. Even then, it was cash and carry, and we're still going to pay. And sometimes we even went back to our same school or the school where we were schooling for the vacation classes. So we need to better the system, but that is not to say either if you go for vacation classes means free SHS is bad. I think there are constraints or challenges with free SHS, but we can make it better.
All right, so let's wait for a quick break. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Sebash, no one would ask for my opinion, but if I am asked what I think about free senior high school, I would say it should rather be scholarships for brilliant but needy students. What do you think?
That is your assessment. Since that is your thinking, I wouldn't want to grudge you by your thinking.
Because I feel like this free senior high school, we are wasting resources on some people who don't even like the school. You know, some of them are just attending school in the name of the school is free, but then they don't like it. And then so long as we have limited resources, why not it should be scholarship for those who are in need, but they are brilliant, so that at the end of the day, they will come out good.
I beg to differ. If you say they don't like school, then what do they like? It's a matter of priority. If they don't want to be in school, they could find themselves, what would the alternative be? Where would they be? Markets? Job sites? As what?
Media.
Well, that is not an alternative to not going to school. Anybody who has traveled out surely knows how knowledge or education is so much important to the Western world. So Libya, Europe is not the alternative. It's not the way to go. And for one to think of a scholarship, I think there is so much argument about whether there should be a certain system that allows for people to make payments. I believe we should all go back to the drawing board, sincerely speaking, so that the politicization of this free, not free, and others is taken out. Let's push it to the educationists to have a broader stakeholder consultation, so that together we could fashion out what is best for Mother Ghana, not any political party. If there is the need for people to support, then that opportunity is there.
What kind of support do you think people can give to free senior high school?
Oh, quite a number of supports. You see, the parents play a crucial role in the educational development. Though they are not completely taken away or out with the free SHS, they realize because of the free SHS, some schools' PTA activity have stalled. And that notwithstanding too, even in terms of feeding, parents could support. I sincerely have my reservation about a student being in a boarding school, enjoying free meal in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and virtually all utilities are being paid by the government. I believe the quota for boarders must be reduced. That is my sincere belief.
The government said he can do everything.
No, I think, you see, if we play politics with it, we will have a problem. In a sense, I'm saying so because in the mix of scarce resources, It's a matter of priority. The government has only chosen to prioritize education above other things. It doesn't mean the others are not important. The debate about whether we need a reform or not, to a larger extent, I believe we need to reform the free SHS.
Not to abandon it.
We can't abandon it. No government can abandon free SHS in this current stage. No. You can only make some changes, some review, some recommendations to make it better. There are things that can be taken off. We used to have this past question system where the cost of a past question is so high, such that I am of the view that if a past question is given to a student, the subsequent year or 2 or 3, we don't need to reprint all the past one. We only add it to the existing one. So 2-3 years old is added to the existing one. And past questions, we should make it in such a way that when the student finishes school, he returns it. He doesn't take it home. What is he going to use it for?
Maybe that is why Baumia introduced the digital past questions.
Yes, so with the
digital past questions.
I am not aware.
You just have to search online and then you...
No, the students are going to be provided with a tablet. My school, we have not received ours yet.
Do you think the tablet is important?
Why is it not important in a digital 21st century where everything...
Gen Z, Sir Bash.
What is Gen Z?
Give them a tablet, they will rather visit...
Gen Z does not mean they cannot read or write.
No, they can read and
the
write.
past question in this, the tablet is coded. It is not as if you can access everything. No, it's limited to some. It contains the educational materials that they are expected to have, and we are told it will only handle some educational sites and others. I believe the ultimate aim is for our students to be guided, not to deny them everything in its entirety.
Mr. Bash, after giving a student a tablet after school, will the students return the tablet to school?
That is a question the government would have to. I have not received mine to know the direction whether after school he or she is to return it. But I have a fervent conviction that it's not for keep. They would have to return it.
School, like the school library, so that you go for it and then you bring it back. If not, if you are to tell them...
You are part of the stakeholders, so you are also bringing an idea we can all make it work.
Tablet, it should be in the school library. Because I remember in SHS or even tertiary institution, you have to sign library before you graduate.
So if it is possible, it should be possible here too, to save the taxpayer some money.
And then for me, I don't even buy the idea of giving them laptops, tablets, because they are still schools and the I'm so concerned about the basic schools, because that is a foundation. If the fundamentals are weak,
no, but you see, sincerely speaking, if we want to fix all these challenges before we move on, then there will be no development anyway.
That is true.
We only need to pay paramount attention to some of these areas, such that those lagging behind will be supported to move at par with their peers. There are others, this laptop you are mentioning might not even be useful to them because they are not connected to the national grid. Others will be connected to the national grid, but even unless they use the offline version because internet is not available, there are communities within Ashanti region who are not connected, who are not having access even to this internet service and even calls. So automatically, it doesn't mean we have to fix all these things before we can move ahead.
These kids, Sebash, you know them.
But these same kids are using phone in the house.
Yes, they are using.
So this time we say what is on the tablet is purely educational material. It's already downloaded. Everything is in it. Their textbooks, sample questions, among other things are on the tablet. This is what they need to access. Together we need to allow technology to take its space. People are moving into AI. In no time, if you don't take care, even some job or and other professions will become redundant. So they need to stay good. So they need to stay in touch with time. They need to catch up.
But
what?
I have a problem.
What's your problem?
My problem is,
yes,
many of these schools lack books, infrastructures, and all that. So why are you focused on already built schools? Why are you giving them this?
And who says all the schools receiving it are going to be already built schools?
Most of these schools. Okay, so why are you giving me drink whilst I'm hungry? Like, why are you giving me sweet after meal where I don't even have the meal?
Which is the sweet, which is the meal?
The sweet is this.
Yeah.
And then the meal are the infrastructure.
You complain of textbooks. Look at the worn out system of textbooks. A student takes it. We are not using whatever argument you raise in respect of getting students and schools and their trees off is valid. But that does not mean development must halt. If you read some books of Ebo Hartsford, Ghana and the IMF, among other books about Africa, sincerely even books about Ghana, if we want the northern region at independent, northern voter and central, to catch up with the southern belts, i.e. the enclaves of Sunyani, Kumasi, Accra, development must store in these regions for 50 years. Mm-hmm. Why are we not storing those development? Yes, that was the reason. In fact, it was part of the work that was shown to Nkrumah, and hence the need for education across and the introduction of boarding system. And also to ensure that those areas move faster, modern scholarship was introduced. We must be seen bringing those lagging behind to match the system. But that doesn't mean we should stop development. People have even passed where we are today. People are using smartboard. How many of our students and even tutors can use smartboard? How many schools even have it? So must we stop till everybody get to that stage? The answer is no.
It can never happen.
It will never happen. It will even never happen. So but we must speed up to catch up. I believe some monetary aspects, especially that are not eaten, should be relooked at, giving the parent a significant role to support. A lot of tests must be done to be able, you see, the idea that some people should be made to pay or not pay. How do we raise the benchmarking? People have made a lot of suggestions that we can use the Ghana card and the banking system to know the haves and the have-nots. Those whose parents can afford and those whose parents cannot afford. These are suggestions we need to. Yes, at the bank, it tells us if you use how much you earn now. Yes, if you're a salary worker, we know. And those with businesses. And again, even the schools that you attended, if you attended a school where you were paying 10,000 cedis a term, if you come to secondary school, at least you'd be able to look at having paid 10,000 a term within a year for 3 years. Means you can afford to pay some,
at least part.
Yes, part of it. So we can look at it and have a broader consultation, a bipartisan dialogue.
That one will never happen.
It is possible. You see, I don't want us to always believe something cannot happen. We only need to think outside the box and have a dialogue and reduce the politicization in it. And we are good to go.
Do you know that even our leaders, senior high school, right now, if NDC assume office and then they decide to reform it, as in, let's borders pay some part, let even say 20%, it will be a problem.
It will depend on what you bring on board and how the communication is done. The students are given exercise book 10, notebooks about 4. Parents are buying some to other because those notebooks cannot take them up to secondary school. Some cannot even meet one subject. You understand? So parents are in some other way supporting. It is not as if they are not doing it at all. But if they are given the free opportunity or the chance, they will do more.
That would be better.
And that notwithstanding, we can look at, I still believe that the boarding system must be relooked at. If you want to go to boarding, in some of the selected schools or in virtually all the schools, the issue of feeding needs a critical attention. Those at boarding, a term or a semester, the government spends not less than 4,000 to 5,000 on them, even beyond that. So you could realize that if opportunity is given or a certain quota, the government can take 200. Yes, there are available space, or the additional 300, like fee paying. If you want to be there and you top up to be at the boarding school, I don't think it's bad. We can really look at that. The issue of uniform. Some schools have all the set of their uniform, Sunday cloth for church service, outing attire, Friday wear. Some of these things we can really look at it and reduce the number of uniform. When we were during the cash and carry, we were in school. We even, after paying this, we still bought our uniforms. Because I don't want to believe uniform is a hindrance to being in school. So we could look at that. What do we do? If they are given 2 uniforms, the additional 2 or 3 could be used to do other things.
For them to just use 2 uniforms.
They could be given 2 uniforms and a PE kit.
Why not their parents buy for them?
That's what I'm saying. Previously, they are receiving more than 4. They have, some are even given clothes for church service.
The white cloth.
Normal clothes, if depending on the design that your school uses. Some have Friday wear, outing attire.
Outing wear. Which one is outing?
Oh, boarding school, you go if you want to go for a program, not check. A customized uniform, of course. So these customized materials, among other things, make the cost at free SHS a bit unbearable. So some of these things could be taken off and given to parents to shoulder that cost.
Do you think MPP are ready to do something like this? Because the movement they...
Are we talking about Ghana or we are talking about MPP? I keep saying that we need to have a broader consultation with stakeholders. We have renowned educationists in the country.
People will name them as failures. That is what they don't want to hear.
What is failure?
If you want to reform it, they will tell you no, they will not accept.
Really?
Another said if you want to pay, if you have the money to pay for any free any private school, just take your word to.
It is the passion of the president and his desire that everybody gets it free.
So I think that if there is going to be a reform that parents must involve, they would see that Ghanaians will see them as a failure, so they will not allow that.
If you heard what I keep repeating, let's take off the politicization and we shall land at a fine destination.
That would be good if we can.
We will surely get there.
I hope so.
Yes.
I've enjoyed your conversation and I hope you've also enjoyed it. This has been educative, inspiring. Was it entertaining? Was it?
I may find out from your viewers.
No. Okay. Maybe they should leave comments for us and see if it was entertaining. But I know it was educative and inspiring. Sebastian, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Finally, I've had you. Thank you. I want to use this platform and then express my gratitude and my thanks to Sebastian. He really loves me and I love him as much as he does. Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
All right. See you next time. Bye-bye. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired. The Talk In Show. Get ready to be educated and inspired.